Today's video is about a trip we took up to Richmond, California to tour the Victory ship Red Oak. The Red Oak is a World War II warship which has been turned into a museum. We made this trip in 2018. At the time, I did not consider publishing this video. I thought some of the clips were kind of dark. The interior of the ship is not well illuminated, and my camera does not have a light on it, so I thought it was a little dim in places. But here I am sitting at home sheltering in place because of the COVID virus. So I went back and looked at some of my old video clips, and I decided, with a little editing, I thought I could turn this into a kind of documentary about the Victory that other people might find interesting. So then, let's go to Richmond and tour the ship. Well, we're here in Richmond at the Victory ship Red Oak Victory. This is a World War II cargo ship, follow on to the Liberty class, and we're going to take a tour of it today. No one here. Come aboard and see a docent. Okay. Feels like diesel fuel and kerosene.
Yeah.
Good morning. Okay, well, we signed in and paid our fees. We got the self-guided tour book, right? So we're going to start the tour. The Red Oak Victory was commissioned in December of 1944, belonged to the U.S. Navy. What?
Ammunition ship.
Oh, she carried ammunition, huh?
Yeah.
Her career in the Navy was relatively brief because the war ended before she got too far into the service. But then it served for the next 22 years in various commercial businesses and was put into mothballs in 1968, where it stayed for 30 years before it was removed and began the process of turning it into a museum. Now there is a tool. I'm sure that had something to do with the emergency rudder.
Yeah, it looks like a big old wrench.
Yeah. Just the bollards here and the capstan. They would be used for towing a vessel. Remember, this is a warship, so you might have to engage in towing another ship. Very sturdy looking door, hatch. Here we have a 20mm Oerlikon. Ship was equipped with 20mm and a deck gun, usually a 5-inch. This, I believe, would be the aft steering station, where they could handle the ship from the stern if the forward controls were damaged. This is really the gun tub for the stern 5-inch gun mount. The ship's propeller was put here for display. The ship's cargo was carried in holds. This is a hatch cover for the aftmost hold. You can see how the covers are held down with these big iron straps. All the rigging for cranes is mechanical. They're not using hydraulic winches these days. The winches are steam powered, and they use cables to raise and lower the crane's booms.
Field trip for kids. With Joseph doing it.
It's open, I guess.
Oh, what do they got? All kind of stuff. Oh, this is cool. This is cool.
Yep. Shower and head. Another shower and 2 showers. The galley.
Oh, wow. Do a good deal of that.
Yeah, there's coffee and it smells good too. Coffee galley. This is a wardroom. A wardroom or crew room, whatever you, it's where they sat to eat. Down to the museum. Oh, this is a nicer bunks than the one down the hall here.
That is where the captains and officers.
Going down to the museum.
Oh, this is work.
this is one of the holds, one of the ship's holds.
You actually probably have a boat should be.
Yeah, they rent it out for parties. Here's some interesting statistics. 4 efforts by Kaiser Enterprises. 821 Liberty ships, 219 Victory ships, 147 tankers, 132 troop transports, 50 escort carriers, 45 LSTs, 12 frigates, 64 cargo ships, 1,209,000 tons of steel ingots. Oh, well, lots of stuff. Lots of space here in the hold.
If you was a birthday party guy, I would give you a party.
Yeah. See, this is the inside of the hatch, the beams and the catch cover that we saw on deck before. Oh, those are all Victory ships.
Down more. Oh yeah, that's a perfect fit. That's good. Okay.
Look, they have a passport cancellation station here. So this is on the National Register. It's on the National Parks Registry. So they get...
I got your stamp for you.
This is the butcher shop. This is where they cut up the meat.
Oh, really?
This seems a little odd to me, but this is where they did it.
You can still smell it, don't you?
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh my God! Oh, the animals! No. It smells like ham in here.
Oh, here we have an amphitheater.
Oh wow! Look at this! This was added. This was on here when it was working.
Well, this is one of the holds. This is where they carried cargo. There's another hatch cover up there. You can barely see it.
Planes in here too.
And they can do a lot of stuff in here.
Wow, this is amazing what they can do. You find out all kind of places you don't think to look for venues. You know?
It's true.
This though is a venue for young folks. So people be like, how we get out of here?
Let's go up here. Another galley. Got a microwave in here. Here you have another wardroom. This looks like the officer's mess. because they're nicer chairs. Officer's mess. There we go. Assistant engineer had to share quarters. Assistant engineer.
Oh, they had nice.
Yes. Chief engineer is over here. Engineer showers. Chief engineer's office. And more quarters down here. Cadet's office. Cadet's quarters. Electricians. Third assistant engineer. Junior third assistant engineer. And second engineer. Alrighty then. So didn't we see a ladder down here? Oh, maybe I could go in here. Just look around. This actually looks pretty comfortable for one person, and the beds at least are long enough. These are actually good-sized beds. Bunks. Not much for clothes storage. 2 lockers.
You got 3 people.
Yeah. So, where does this go?
What's this? Is that up more or we get up here?
I'm sorry, you got a ladder there?
Yeah.
Okay, go up that. This must goes up to the bridge. First officer's quarters. And the captain's office. When all else fails, try doing what the captain suggested. This is the captain's quarters. Actually, those crew bunks look longer than his. Oh, he's got a bar. That's nice.
Look at his drawer space.
Oh, yes.
He had a nice room.
He has a little footstool with his name on it.
Bookshelf.
Alrighty then, this is the navigation station. They would have all the charts of their intended destination and the ways on there, along the way there. Weather observations. There's a variety of instruments for navigation, radio. And this is the actual ship's bridge. The helmsman would stand here, look out through these ports, Here's the binnacle. Yes, buntings for signaling. Now, this ship was a combat vessel, so the ports here are small and they're very thick glass, and also you have armored around the window. They did expect to receive shell fire, and so they didn't give you a lot of glass here to break. Hopefully the helmsman will be protected. Directions for steering to the helmsman would come from the officer on watch off the deck, or the captain, or whoever, who very likely might be standing out here on the open bridge or on the deck above us. Yes.
What did that guy say the average crew was?
During the war, 91 crew and 13 officers.
And the ship, when it was a merchant ship, 50 people?
Yeah, about, probably less than that when it was in merchant duty. This is the fly bridge. These are ventilators here for the engine. Ship has a single steam turbine.
Rich said, is that the Rick? I said, yeah.
Can we get to the engine room?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No.
Sorry.
Has to make it down these gangway steps here. Okay, that's the tour then of the ship. As you can see from the video, there are areas of the ship where we could not access, like the deck forward of the superstructure and the engine room, two places I particularly did want to see, but they're not yet ready for visitors, which is too bad, but I'm sure these will be coming available as time and money permit the restoration of the ship. Now about the Victory class in itself. I mentioned this was a follow-on to the Liberty ship. The Liberty ships being the invention of Henry J. Kaiser at a time when the Allies were particularly stretched in terms of ships to deliver material like war material and goods to England and to Australia and other countries in the South Pacific. Kaiser came up with the idea of mass producing ships to a particular standard and using the latest techniques such as electric welding to build them. This was something never been done before. He produced the Liberty ships in great quantities. The Liberty ships were very successful, but they were built to an old design to make them easier to build. And after some were built, it was obvious that some improvements could be made. The Victory ship was a result. First thing they did was upgrade the engine from a reciprocating steam engine to a steam turbine. This made the ship faster, which was a very good idea when you're out trying to outrun German U-boats. Also, certain arrangements in the ship were made to handle cargo better. The ship operated in the South Pacific Theater. It was based in Ulithi and in the Philippines, and it moved cargo and ammunition to the various U.S. fleets in that theater for the rest of the war. The ship itself is 455 feet long, 62-foot beam, and displaced 5,800 tons at full load. A single 6,000 horsepower steam turbine could drive the ship at 15 knots, considerably faster than Liberty. And it also had a longer range because the engine was a little more efficient. Now, many of these ships served long careers, both in the service and out. In service, they were still used by the Navy in Korea and even in Vietnam. So they had, many ships of this type had careers that extended 30, 40 years. But the Victory, the Red Oak Victory, was only in service for a relatively short time, but then served many years in commercial service. So if you have a chance to see the Victory, the Red Oak Victory in Richmond, I recommend that you do so. It's not the greatest museum right now, but I'm sure that it will become one. And it's a rare ship to see from that class that should be remembered. Thank you.